What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and today at the Nerdcastle, we're going to be taking a look at a little game called KeeperRL. This is a game that I think uses the exact same sprites from Quest of Dungeons or something like. I mean, they look very, very similar if they aren't straight from that game. So anyways, it's basically, it's kind of like Dungeon Keeper, I guess, would be the way that I would describe it, in that you're building your base. This is going to be very, very similar to, say, like Dwellers, for example, which was a game that isn't quite completed yet. This game is in alpha right now, but there is enough content at the moment to have a little bit of fun with, and so that's exactly what we're going to try and do here today. We're going to be playing our game as the Keeper. The game difficulty on easy, don't let it fool you, that is actually normal. And so you can only choose hard or easy, which means that easy becomes the normal. The enemies are aggressive, so they're going to be attacking our base every now and again and trying to wipe us out. However, the enemies are also building their own bases, so it's a little bit unique in the fact that when you start the game out, you personally are building your base, but so is everybody else. And so if they actually attack you with everything they have and then they fail, that's it for them. They're toast. So we're going to say that we're done here and we're going to get the game started. I'm not going to go through that. Essentially, in a nutshell, we're a wizard who's been banished and is now stuck all over, I don't know, some mountain range or something. There's billy goats around that are quite aggressive. Basically, we've been banished. And so what we want to do is we want to think just for a second. I'm going to pause the game so you can get a feel for how everything looks. We can press the Z key to zoom in and zoom out. I will be playing in both methods as we go throughout this playthrough. I don't know what we're going to be able to show off, but the game can go for quite some time, so I'm getting the feeling we're probably not going to see everything, but we're going to do our best. The first thing you want to note is all the activities you can take place are in one kind of tab over here. You can dig and cut trees through the same thing. You can create storage stockpiles. You can make treasure rooms. You can make beds, training rooms. All these things are useful for various monsters that you're trying to spawn to make your life a little bit easier. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get started by chopping down some trees, although I don't want this to happen over here. So let's go ahead and stop that from happening. But first and foremost, we got to chop down some trees. So let's get our imps going. There they are. You can see them jumping to work. They're chopping down all the trees. There's no sound effects in the game as of right now, so it is in a very primitive state. However, I played it for 3 or 4 days about a week ago and was really kind of enamored with it. Had a lot of fun with it the first couple times around, and so I am glad to show it off here at the Nerdcastle. I'm just using my left click right now to select the things that are going to be wiped out and destroyed. You don't get stone generally from digging away at walls. You actually have to find stone deposits, which is weird because there's stone deposits inside a stone wall. But anyways, I'm not going to nitpick too much. What I'd like to do instead is we'll get going like this. We're just have them dig into the walls here. And if there's anything else we can make use of, I'm going to kind of scout it out along the way. This is copper, this is gold, and this is stone. We're going to need all three for varying jobs. Last but not least, you are going to need wood in order to build certain things. If you don't have wood, well, you can't get much done. Insert obligatory giggity right there. And now we're just going to wait for these guys to get done. Some of the things that you're going to want to be aware of in the UI. You've got your gold right here. You've got your wood, if you want to have it quantified. You've got your copper, or your iron. That's iron. That's right. You've got your stone. You've got how much mana you have remaining. You've got your strength, the basic overall attack power of all of your forces combined. You've got this number right here, which is ticking upwards, which is the turn that has elapsed. And so right now we're right about coming around 300. We shouldn't see any attacks before the 1000th turn. It would be rare if that happens. It would definitely throw me off if that were to occur. What I'm going to do right now is let's summon a few more imps by going to this menu right here, clicking on summon imp, and we will summon 2 of those little guys. There we go, and that should help us get some did I summon 3? I think I summoned, oh, they cost 30, never mind, so I did do 2 or something, I don't know. Anyways, we've got 10 or 7 imps. I think you start with 4, so I believe we actually did 3 right there. That's okay, it'll mean that the jobs get done a little bit faster. It does take them a lot longer to get through gold tiles than it does just normal stone tiles. So once we get our buildings going, we should be alright right here. I am going to try and queue things up, though, to make our lives a bit easier. Let's make this like a 5. Yeah, we'll have it go all the way back like so. And we'll do the same thing right here. We're going to plan out a whole bunch of construction to get done before we go any further. And so there it is. Put that in right there. I'm going to follow the common motif that I like. I do this in every game that I play. All my buildings always look the same. And then the final thing that I want to do is I actually want to expand this out right here into like a little training hall, because you want your guards to be standing near an area. Oop, I made beast cages. Hold on. There we go. We want our guards to be standing in an area. Once we summon them, we want them to be in an area where they can guard all of our stuff. And so I may actually just get rid of all of this right here, and this will act as a massive vestibule of evil as we run around in our cloaked, hooded self with our glowing red eyes and wait for the enemy to come to us so that we might eat him and annihilate him, because that is how you get mana. You get mana by killing other stuff. Additionally, I think you generate mana by having a library or something like that. I don't know. Mana does not seem to regenerate until you have a library, so I'm guessing that the magical power of books is what allows us. Who knew that books were an element unto themselves? We summoned the power of the element of books. They left that one out of Captain planet. But anyways, there was no like earth, wind, fire, heart, books. There was that books guy, not part of the whole thing. So we've got a basic stockpile of everything we need right now. I'm going to turn... This will be our first stockpile. There it is. This will be our second stockpile. And that should be enough room for just about everything we want to store. As a bonus, we can go ahead and stick our treasure chests in the back right there. I'm probably going to be building most of my buildings off of this area anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go back to digging or cutting trees. You can play the game with the mouse or the keyboard. It kind of depends which one you prefer. You can play the game a lot. What is this? Oh, it's a goat. Okay, the goat is flashed as red on the map. That's because the goats are really, really hostile and they're kind of scary. They're not very friendly. To say the bare minimum about the goats, they are not friendly at all. What we want to do now is we want to spend a little bit of time building some libraries. So let's get started with that. I'm just going to line the halls with them. I'm going to deck the halls with boughs of book reading. And there it is. And so that should allow us to begin generating mana, which is really, really important because we're going to need that to summon some minions. And then the other thing that it's going to be important for, well, we are going through wood very, very rapidly by building all these bookcases, but I try to get everything done right in the beginning whenever I build from my resources, and so we should have plenty of wood left over after we get this finished. And so there it is. If you take a look at our mana, it is now regenerating very, very rapidly. Our keeper, which is this guy right here, if he dies, it's game over, is reading the books. He's running around climbing on top of the bookshelves, doing all kinds of crazy, like dungeon parkour or whatever it is that he's doing. And so that'll work out for now. We've got ourselves 218 stone. Not necessarily enough iron to get anything really substantial done, so let's go ahead and we're going to wipe out this entire corner of the map. Hey, you stop that right now, library. There we go. We're going to wipe out that entire corner too. It doesn't look pretty, but it does get the job done, and that is what we were all about here in the Nerd Castle, getting the job done. The next thing we want to do is we want to get ourselves some miniones. And so I think I'm going to fill this room. Actually, no, we're going to go like this. We'll go ahead and put some beast cages in the vestibule. And these are each going to cost me a little bit of wood. But each one of these cages means that I can summon one animal from nature. And so if we go to this menu right here, there we go, the little book menu. You look under the Beasts tab, we can click on that, and we haven't unlocked them, so maybe I should do that. Let's go ahead and do some research by going to the book menu, and then you go to library, and you can do research now, which will unlock new stuff that you can make use of while you play through the game. I'm going to go with beast taming first, and then I'm going to go with goblins. And then I'm going to go with ogres, because we've got to get ourselves an army first. If we don't have an army, the first attack is just going to wipe us out the second that it shows up. So now we're going to go to the beast menu, and I'm going to summon, we have 220. Let's go ahead and summon 7 wolves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so there it is. You will see our wolves are now running around on the map. There they are. They should... Wolves are a little bit weird. They don't hang around your base that much. Like, every now and again, they'll kind of hang out around here, but they kind of just go out into the mist. Like, this map goes on forever, and there's villages and things like that. They will go out like wargs o' doom, and they will just wipe out enemies. Now, these are only level 1 wolves. They aren't that great, but they should be able to stave off the first attack, as far as I know. If we wanted to spend some gold, because we do have some of that being stored in our treasure chest back here, we can go to the black market. You buy potions of healing, amulets of nature, basically any type of gear that you could ever want to equip on your minions. But as of right now, we don't have any minions to equip. I'm going to get back to digging here. Let's go ahead and wipe that out, and we'll just go, oh, that's not what I wanted. No, that's a thing that's bad. No. Okay, so this will work out a little bit better. We'll go 5 right there, and then we'll cancel these. Awesome. I forgot to hold down the shift key. So basically how it works is if you're not holding down the shift key, it paints what you want it to destroy. No, that's not what I wanted either. And if you hold down the shift key, it'll actually do like a rubber band box, like so. And so you actually have an option. So you can be in here and be like, wee, and like spell your name. Oh god, I messed up. There we go. I can spell, I swear. There it is. I'm just gonna do, oh no, you ruined it. There it is, splat. And so you can kind of just like paint around if you wanted to have fun with your base. We should get a bunch more stone and a bunch more iron from down here. And once our mana has recovered slightly, we'll be able to go through and buy a little bit better of minions. But for now, we need to prepare for those minions by making a training room. That's right, we're going to go ahead and spread out some training dummies right here at the front. So there it is. We'll cancel that one out. And what those are going to allow us is our humanoid monsters that we summon in just a moment. We'll be able to use these to train up their level and get more HP and more attack power and be a little more efficient at whatever the job is that they're doing. I don't know what jobs typically monsters do, but I guess that they seek employment at some stage in their life so that they can advance self-actuation. Whoever knew. And so what we want to do now, we've got 222 mana right there. We're going to go to our humanoids menu, and oh, we need beds in order to breed out our humanoids, giggity. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll put in some beds in this room right here, and these cost us wood, from what I understand, a lot of it. And so once we get these in, each one of these that we maintain allows us to have another humanoid, and we're going to need a lot of them because humanoids do different things. If we go to our summoning menu right here, where are all my wolves at? Did they just wander off into the darkness? Yeah, there they are right there. Just being wolves, doing their thing, wandering through the forest, causing fights. There's our first village right there. Hopefully it's not a human village. If you want to figure out who's around you and who's building their base in your area, you click on this tab right here with the swords. And what you'll have is we are at war with humans right now. There's lizardmen, the Hokone. There's the W.I.N, which are the elves, and the Quennis. So we've got 2 tribes of humans that are at war with us. And this is probably the first, unless it's elves, which is even worse. The elves are a little bit tougher than the humans. They use a lot of arrows and things like that to make your life miserable. It's saddening, maddening, and definitely not gladdening. What we want to do now is summon some minions. So what do these minions do? Well, gnomes are terrible at fighting, and so are goblins. They're both absolutely god-awful, but they serve other purposes. So let's say that you've got a gnome. If you've got a gnome, any crafting bench that you have in your base, he'll just go there and randomly create stuff for you. He'll be there and he'll create helmets, he'll create amulets, he'll create weapons. And it's totally random, which is kind of the fun of this game, is like sometimes you end up with ridiculous legendary weaponry, other times you end up with absolutely just kind of jack shit nothing. Goblins do the same thing, but with alchemy and magical items, and so they create all kinds of potions and poisons and things for you. Ogres, all they do is smash face. That's really all they're great at. They didn't graduate, they didn't do something, I don't know. They didn't make it out of ogre school, that's for sure, because they're not doing anything scholastic. They're mostly spending all of their time using blunt instruments on other beings, and so we want a bunch of them now. I'm going to summon 4 of them. There we go, and so we have some ogres now. And so there they are. They spawn from the beds. I didn't know that beds were portals to the ogre dimension, but in this world they are. And they will go over here and they will start training on all of these training posts. And if you watch them, they'll level up over time. They each have their own little names. If you go over here, you can look and they've all got names. So Leviato, the ogre. You've got Master, the ogre. Hopefully he's better at being an ogre than everyone. I don't know what tasks involve ogering, but my guess is that he's better at it since his parents named him Master. That, or maybe they were just hoping that he would turn out to be a master in life. We've got a lot of the resources taking. Oh god, we've got dwarves and things coming in. Wolves! Wolves, no, no! And our, okay, so dwarves are invading right now. That is bad. That's really, really bad for us. And so what we want to do is we're going to go to our beast menu. We're going to summon a few more wolves that are inside. The lizardmen of Hokon are attacking as well. So we're getting hit by everybody right now. That's going to be pretty painful. And so you see our wolf running out right there. He's gone ahead and he's murdered one guy, and they're actually eating these guys. I like them because they're really aggressive, whereas the ogres tend to be very, very defensive. Wolves are nice because they sally out to destroy our enemies, and so these little blood piles right here, that's all that's left of all of the dwarves that thought to attack us. They can't handle this. They tried to roll up into the Dungeon Keeper's domain and got themselves obliterated. You don't want to try that. You don't want to try that. And looking at our ogres now, they're all at level 2, which is good. That means that their attack has gone up slightly, their defense has gone up a little bit. Let's think about using some of these resources to maybe... How many imps do I have remaining? 7? Okay, none of our imps got killed. They do a really good job at evading. Oh, our wolves are actually going out to the Lizardman village, annihilating them too. Good job. Oh, they ate that cow in one bite. What a badass. They're also eating the birds out of the air. Alright, our genetic modification. Our genetic and magical modification may have gone too far in this experiment because we've got wolves that are like jumping into the air and ripping birds out of the sky. I'm just glad they're on my side, all things considered. Let's go back, and we've got a lot of mana now because every time you kill something, you trap its soul and it becomes part of your mana pool. The next thing that I want to do is we need to do some research. So I want to do crafting, I want to do ironworking, and that should hold us over for now. Every time you research something, it's more expensive to do the next part. What we want to do now is we want to go to our crafting menu. We want to go and make some workshops, and so let's make a couple of those. Not too many, otherwise your ogres will break off and they'll start working there, and that's just a mess. But what we want to do is maybe go a couple goblins, like 4 goblins. There it is. Or not goblins, we need gnomes, damn it. Okay, well never mind, I messed up. But our goblins are going to go and actually help our attack force since they have no place to work. Let's give them some place to work so that they're not totally going to waste. We're going to do, to do a laboratory we need alchemy. Okay, we can't do that right now. We'll do that in a little bit. You get bottlenecked eventually too. Your research is also stopped by how many bookcases you have. If you ever run out of bookcases, you can't do any more research. So we are going to have to continuously expand our bookcase collection. Those birds I don't think belong to me. I don't remember summoning any birds, but we can. The birds act as scouts and they'll clear out the fog of war for you. Over here on this side, it looks like they did a little bit of damage to some of the elves. The elves are problematic because they kite you, and they fire while they run away, which can make them really, really difficult to destroy. However, if you want to invade the enemy, which is the point of this game, you eventually win when you wipe out all the other settlements on the map, take all their treasure. There would be like swords and pieces of gear and helmets and stuff inside of there once you get to that point. I don't know if we're going to make it in this weekly indie newcomer because there is a lot of stuff to get done right now. I also don't know what graveyards do. I assume they do something. Once we get a laboratory, we can also summon golems to our side, which is pretty badass. Those guys are definitely useful. You can make iron golems, you can make clay golems, you can make all kinds of golems, and every single one of them is lovely. I'm going to send some of my minionies out here. Hey, do what I tell you. I'm selecting the wrong thing, that's why. So we'll destroy that. That looks like the edge of the map, but we could use some more resources. So let's go down here and make sure that we're digging out all of this stuff from the walls. Now that the attacks are over, we'll try and get some more trees chopped down. I think we may be in a little bit of trouble on some of our resources, but we might be okay. I'm not going to ruin my beautiful artwork right here. Now it looks like a hammer is hitting it and saying splat, which I didn't even plan that, but whatever. It's awesome. It goes with the theme. I accept it. I accept it as one of those things that just occurs during the process of your building, and I will not complain about it any further. Alright, so they're at work right now. We needed to give ourselves a few more gnomes, so let's summon some gnomes. There we go. And so now the lizard men of Hokon are attacking once again. They're brazen little buggers, aren't they? They definitely believe in themselves. That's one thing that I'll give to them. I mean, the combat was over pretty quickly last time, so one would assume that they would no longer think that our land was just easy and free pickings for lizard folk, but they just haven't learned. This one wolf, I bet, is going to solo him. Oh no, my wolf got dominated right there. That's bad. What is he? The lizard man chief. Oh god, there's a bunch of warriors inside that. It's just a building full of sweaty, hairy men that are ready to murder us. That could present a problem. Over here on this side, I'm actually going to cancel all of this, and we want to go with a guard post. And if we put our men down here, we just kind of make this entire area like a guardy area. What will happen is our ogles will come down here and clean out. See that right there? They came down and they cleaned out house. You've exterminated the armed forces of Hokon. That means that they're just waiting for us to come down there and moiter them now. Send them all back to base. The darker red colors, if you take a look right here, how he's all red, that means that he's wounded and he's actually lost a little bit of XP. Oh, he's poisoned as well. That's bad. So he's basically going to bleed out and die. There's nothing we can really do about that. One thing I did want to show you guys is if we hang out over here for a while, it looks like they crafted a scroll. What kind of scroll did they craft? Hold on. I think we can select things through one of these menus. There's a menu around here that allows me to select individual things and look at it. Although what I could do is we can actually possess any of these creatures that we want. And so if I possess him, what we can do is we can click him around. We can go look at the scroll. It's 18 rocks, a scroll that is labeled Effugium, and 28 planks. And then what we can do is if you look at the bottom, you've got a full range of commands that you can issue for every single minion under your command. I'm just going to press the U key right now and let him be free. Oh good, we crafted a sword. What kind of sword was that? A sword, +4 accuracy, +4 or +8 damage. Cool. We have no armor or helmets or anything though, and that's part of the randomness that goes into the game, is that you've got to kind of wait until they accidentally craft the thing that you need. For example, he just made a breastplate right there with extra chest padding. Apparently it's going to help out your self-esteem or something. The ogres like to have large breastises. That's what they prefer, even among the men. Everybody in ogre society needs large breastises, and so if they can't have large breastises by genetics, they just pad that thing out, which is how when you saw that armor right there, the goblins and the gnomes, they take that into consideration and they actually add it in because we don't want anybody feeling bad about themselves. We're all about self-image here at the Nerd Castle, and we want to make sure all of our gnomes feel good about themselves. It's bad when they don't feel good, and it makes us sad. Oh, there's a lake over here that has disrupted my artwork. That makes me sad. Can't be helped. Ah, well. And so what do you do if you want to invade other people? Well, if you want to invade other people, first and foremost, we need to build some more libraries because our mana is just not chiefing up right now. There we go. That'll be a lot better. Or at least a little bit better. It may not help at all. I don't know. All I've noticed is that when I have libraries, I get mana faster. And so I build lots of libraries now because I feel like when I don't, terrible things happen. There we are. More libraries. Got 61 of those. It doesn't appear to be going up any faster. Ah, well, what can you do? I think there might be upkeep or something on some of the units. Our attack power is looking quite magnificent at the moment. Okay, so at level 6, they're up to 39 attack. I want to wait till they all have gear, though. I don't want to be invading any other societies until they have gear and the ability to actually wipe people out. This right here is going to be a tough nut to crack. I'm not sure how we're going to take that out. We're going to need a lot of ogres. That's the one thing. We're going to need a ton of ogres in order to get all of these warriors done, but I bet there's a ton of treasure in there too. So while I'm talking about sheer tonnage right now, just saying, we're going to need a lot of friends in order to make this work. That job is still not done, but we are accumulating a bit more iron for our projects of the future. They made a sword right there. Pretty sexy looking sword too. I like the way that they made the hilt gold. Makes us feel flashy. I like it when our gear looks pimpin'. Pimpin' to match our spirit. Okay, so with the little bit of mana we've got left, I do think it's probably time to go through and maybe do alchemy. And once we've got alchemy, we can go back up to our base. And we'll do some laboratories so that our goblins have things to do now. There we go. And so with 5 of those cauldrons, you should see our goblins jump in and start taking care of business over here. We'll get little potions and things that our guys can carry around. Also things that our keeper can equip. He's got lots of magic spells and stuff on the side. He does have abilities, in case you were wondering. So let's say we click on him and we possess the keeper. We could take a look at his spells. Right now he's only got healing, so you can kind of move him around in battle, and you can hope that he can heal people before they die. But you can learn a bunch more from these sorcery abilities. So if I release him right now, there it is. If I release him, we can go to our research menu under library, and if you research sorcery, you can actually get new spells and stuff, which are pretty badass. So as the game stands right now, I've basically showed you the breadth of everything there is in the game. I mean, I'm going to schedule a raid right before we end this thing because I feel like it'll be fun for you guys. I believe that I would like to... I'm not going to summon anything from right there. No wild animals. I'm just going to wait a couple. We got about 4 minutes left in the episode, so we got time to burn while we get some of these resources gobbled on up into our stockpiles. But at what I've shown right now, it kind of runs into the same problem that Dwellers does, where the game basically has... I've showed you all the features as of right now. All that's remaining is to build up a giant force and then set up guard posts in the middle of the enemy's land and just wipe them out. What I will do, I think, is let's go through with one of our ogres, and I'm going to possess him. And as we possess him, I'm going to bring him out here. And you can see he's got his own little personal line of sight. We're going to go into this building. We're actually going to loot some of this treasure. So there's 23 gold pieces. We'll loot that. We will open the chest. It might be booby-trapped, by the way. It's a chest full of rats. That's great. And so now he's running all over the place in fear because I guess he's afraid of rats. We're going to open all this up. Take all of their gold pieces for later. Potion of speed. Oh, another thing full of rats. Okay, that's fine. And then a scroll labeled Combustio. I don't really know if he can use those right now. He's got a Warhammer, which does a ton of damage, and chain armor and iron boots. Nice. And so I'm going to release him now because he's got nothing better to work on. We can apparently collect corpses if we have a graveyard, so maybe I should make one of those. Some of our excess stonage. Oh, I messed up. There we go. That'll look a little better. And so we'll go collect all of our dead bodies. I don't think there's any reason to do so as of right now. I don't know. The game doesn't have a wiki or anything like that yet, because there's a lot of things that have been unanswered. And the dev was actually really cool. I twittered him. I tweeticated that guy, and he said that I could just send him DMs whenever I had questions, but... You know, I'm terrible on following through with stuff like that, so anything that I'm ignorant about, it's largely my fault because I haven't, like, taken the time to send any emails or anything. But what we'll do now is we'll summon a few more ogres, and we're going to fight this battle down here. Let's summon a bunch more ogres, and hopefully we have enough equipment to where they will all be useful in combat. Alright, and you can see them all hastily running around and grabbing themselves bits and bobs of equipment. They're making potions in here as well. I don't know what those do. Kill or torture innocent beings for more mana. It's so straightforward about what my motives are right now. We're going to attack this building. That's going to be the last thing we do in this episode. I don't know if we have enough people to destroy this building. We're going to try, though. We're going to give it our all. So let's go ahead and paint this entire area as a guard post. And what we should see once we've done that is that all of our little warriors should come on. Oh, that goblin is about to get... Yeah, he's about to get choked out hard. You don't want to be the first guy into a building in this game. It's a bad plan. You're going to have a bad time if that's you. Oh, never mind. He went in there like a bamf and just ruined everybody. Oh, no, he's dead now. He ruined a couple guys, though, before he got taken care of. We definitely want to label some of these as guard posts. They've got, like, magical constructs or something that they've summoned in there. Okay, and so they've chased just about everybody down. They're not quite there. They're still... You've exterminated the armed forces of N. Standy. What is that, a book? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all that. If you get the books, I think the books, as I recall, give you research for free. The Book of Beast Mutation. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that gives us a free research. And so if we go to equipment, let's take a look at our research. I know it works somehow like that. Oh no, it actually... No, it doesn't. Well, it hasn't been added just yet. Let's learn some of these spells. And once you get mutations, you can actually make like really badass creatures that are named and are like uber ringers that'll wipe out half the map. But anyways, the name of this game is KeeperRL. This is Weekly Indie Newcomer, where I, Splattercat, show you guys an indie game that I've been playing over the last week or two. This one's pretty fun, and I think if they keep... That's the thing, is a lot of the Dungeon Keeper games out there right now are kind of in this suspended state of development, where it's ongoing, either that or it's not ongoing. With KeeperRL, it is being patched, as with, you know, Dwellers and other games like that. When the final game will be out, I couldn't really tell you, but the game is being worked on, and I do think that it's got a nice archetype, or at least a nice blueprint for a game that's going to be a lot of fun in the future. As of right now, all you're going to do is what I did right there. Build a bigger base, wipe out more people, rinse and repeat until you've wiped out the entire map, and then generate a new one for yourself. My name is Splattercat. If you enjoyed this series, don't forget to like and subscribe. I do this every single week on Friday. You get a weekly Indie Newcomer review. KeeperRL is the name of the game. It's totally free. It costs you nothing. I'll put it down in the description below so that you can grab the game if you want. I will see you guys next week. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.